video. Wow, it's good to be back here. And if you're new here, my name is JoanAnuoluwa, and I'd like you to subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button on your screen. And what are we talking about today? It's a very sensitive topic. I'm going to alert you. Well, it is, should a lady prospect more than one guy? What's your take? Is it good? Is it bad? So should you be giving other guys a green light when there is someone in the picture, as it were? What is right? What is the margin of being right? And what is the margin of being wrong at doing that? Okay, before I share my own thoughts on that, I'm going to be sharing a couple of stories with us. I've heard about a lady who had this guy, that was around her. In Nigeria, we call it umbrella ministry, whereby the guy is always there for her. He's not just a friend, he's a confidant, he's an helper. Maybe when she needs someone to help, and they really spend a lot of time together. She probably cooks for him, of course not in his house, not like they're living together, but he can come visit, eat, and maybe return back to his house or something. But that's an hypothetical picture. But the point is that she was close with this guy, and she actually assumed that they had something real going on between them. And so she went for a program, I think a conference, a singles conference or something, and then she spoke with the guest minister that came and told him that, oh, this is what is going on. Oh, I've been with this guy for, is this 7 years? I cannot remember, but it was quite a lot of years actually. I've been with this guy for this amount of years and he has not said anything. I was like, go and ask him what exactly is going on between both of you. And then she summoned courage. No, she felt it was not right. She was like, how would I go and ask a guy that what's going on between both of us? And I said, it's actually good to ask. And I want to talk to ladies that watch me right here. There's nothing wrong in asking a guy what is going on between the both of you, especially when there is no clarity. He's around you, he's all nice, he calls you, sends you text messages and all, and he's not saying anything. It's better to actually have a conversation with him. Or you find out that, oh, you guys started off as friends, but you are beginning to have some other impressions, so you desire more, and you know that this is not a person you can cut off or something. It's better you actually have the conversation. So there is nothing wrong with sitting a guy or even a lady down and asking what exactly is going on between the both of you, especially when other people are already assuming that something is going on. If people can look at you and think you have something going on with a guy, that's something. It means that the both of you are doing something that gives that impression. So if other people are thinking something is going on and the both of you are not even clear about what is going on, I think it's only right that you actually sit down and address it, because there might be someone else who is interested in you but also has that impression that there's something going on between you and that person, and then you miss that opportunity. So back to the story. She felt it was somehow, but eventually she did it. And when she sat this guy down and asked him what was going on between the both of them, guess what? The guy told her that, I see you as a sister. Oh, I'm already engaged. Now that's a very this is a real life story, and this is the story of several ladies, who think they have something going on with someone, and then they just find out of the blue that, oh, the person actually has something going on with someone else. This is real. It has happened to many people, and you might even be listening to me now and you've actually experienced that in your past. Now, I think that guy in this particular story knew what he was doing. How come they were that close for that amount of years and she did not know he was engaged? How come? There are some guys that are actually out there, and there might be ladies that also do that, so that you don't think I'm biased. It can be both ways, who actually know that they are in a relationship, but they keep that information from another person because they are trying to see whether they can keep this person as a backup in case that other one does not work out. Now that is wrong, because this other person is actually waiting for you, but you already have someone. Now that is wrong. Now this is actually my take on this topic I'm going to be discussing, which is that should a lady actually have more than one prospect? Now you can actually have a person who invites you that, oh, let's eat out, let's go out together, let's get to know each other. At that stage, it is okay to still entertain another person that may tell you they're interested in, just have. So now there are people that can actually say, oh, let's go out on a date and all, let's go see a movie, let's eat out, whatever. For that level, you can actually accommodate another guy that can say, oh, let's go out. Yes, it's okay for that level. But if you find out that there's a particular person that you've been going out on dates, meaning that you went on a date the first time, it felt so good, he offered to take you out again, and you agreed, and then the third one, and then the fourth one. By the time you are having multiple dates with one person, you should no longer be entertaining other people. And then for the guys, by the time you are going out with a lady the first time, the second time, the third time, you should be clear about what you want. If you want to proceed to a relationship level, let her know. And if you find out that you're not sure, don't what's the one now? Don't do umbrella ministry over life. Just let her know. Just cut it. Just cut it and do it with wisdom, so that the other prospects she can actually, face them or something if for whatever reason the both of you are not working out. So my advice to ladies is this: if a guy has taken you out a couple of times and he has not, asked you to really be in a relationship with him, confront him with a lot of courtesy. Let it be a cool, calm environment. Don't start shouting or whatever. No, just have a conversation. Ask him, so what do you think about me? Do you think anything can happen? It's really okay, because you should not be with him and he's wasting your time. Yes, if he's not clear about what he wants, it's okay to just remain friends and face the other prospects you have, instead of staying with a guy that is not clear with what he wants with you, and then you're just there and a year is gone, and before you know it, another 6 months is gone, making 1 year 6 months, and before you know it, 2 full years is gone and nothing. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And there's a man of God I respect very much, and he said something. Said, when you not even eventually agree to be in a relationship, I have is it an automaton? What's the word now? Whatever the word is. He said, tell the guy, when a guy says let's enter a relationship, ask him, when are we also going to get married? I'm only going to stay in this relationship for maybe a year. And if after a year you've not made up your mind, then let's let's move on. Now that may sound extreme, but it's okay to actually have a sense of direction for where you're going and know whether it's really going to work out or not. I've heard stories of people who stayed in a relationship for 5 years, 7 years, and they eventually got married. Now that's cool, that's fine. I'm not against that, but it's actually okay to actually let the person know that in the next 1 year you'd actually like to settle down, and know what the person has in mind, because there are people that just want to be in a relationship but they are not ready to get married. Meanwhile, you are ready to get married. So it's important to actually have that conversation and know if the person has the same goals as you have, as you do. Or what's the English? Okay, so sit down with the person, ensure that you are both on the same page. If you find out that you want to get married in 1 year, in another 1 year time, or in another 1 year, and the person wants to get married in another 3 or 4 years, you will know if you should actually continue with the relationship or end the relationship and look for somebody that is also ready to settle down as soon as you also want to. Or you might also decide that, okay, even though I want to get married in another 1 year, I'm willing to wait for this person for the extra 2 years to make it 3 years, and you're going to be waiting with the person. Was it Pastor Bimbo that said dating period is actually, or is it courtship? either dating or courtship, but that time you're actually with the guy or you're with the lady, is a time to actually ask questions. It's a time for interview. Ask questions. It's not just all about eating out, watching movies, visiting all the nice eateries and fun places. That's part of it. That's a very, very important part of relationship that should not even die when you're only in a relationship. It should continue into your married life. But a much more important aspect of your dating or relationship period is to actually have conversations. Ask questions. Ask questions. You need to know what the future is like with this person. There are many people that get married to people and then they are shocked. They are surprised at the person they got married to. Why? They did not ask the right questions. The only question you're asking is, what's your favorite food? What's the favorite movie you've seen? Now, those are important conversations to have, but they are core conversations you need to have. Ask conversations around their core values. Ask conversations about their vision for the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and all. What do you think being a wife is? What do you think being an husband is? What picture comes to your mind when you think about your role as a husband, as a father, as a wife, as a mother? You need to ask questions so that when you get married, you are not faced with shocks. So a lot of people actually talk about the first year of being married as a turbulent time, etc. Well, it's not so for some other persons. Of course, living with another human being requires a lot of wisdom, can be a bit challenging, but you can reduce the level of challenges you face when you actually have the right information. The problem is that a lot of people do not ask themselves the right question. They are not as informed about their partner as they are supposed to be. And then they get married to the person, and then they have this vision for their life or for their own, and this person has another vision for their life or for their own, and then they begin to have issues. So this is the time to actually sit down, ask questions. Ask questions. Keep asking questions. Keep sharing your perspective about what your expectations are. It is very, very important. If you are the kind of a man that expects your wife to be at home and she's not working and she's cooking for you morning, afternoon, and night, washing your clothes, those kind of a thing, cooking for say it so that she will know what her fate is. If you are the kind of woman that is not the kind of life you want, you need to have a conversation about that. If you're the kind of woman that wants to, grow in your career, travel the world, have speaking engagement, you may not always be the kind of wife that will always be at home. Your husband needs to know. I mean, there was somebody I dated back then who was like, the only challenge you will have with me will be the traveling up and down. That is if I have speaking engagements and all. Now, that was a limitation if I was with that person, So you need to have conversations. At least when I asked him that question, I knew what my life would be like if I married him. Of course, I'm not married to him. I'm married to someone else. Yeah, so it's very important that you have conversations. Ask questions. Know what your expectations are. Discuss them. Know what his own expectations are. Discuss them. So that when he tells you his expectations, you can know and have a picture of what it is you're entering into. When she tells you what her expectations are, you can know what you can have a picture of what it is you're getting yourself into. There are some women that believe that their husband must be solely responsible for them financially and in every way. So you need to know and know that okay, this wife will financially people have different kind of perspective, different ways they visualize how their life should be, different backgrounds, different exposure, even within the body of Christ. So it's very important to have conversations, ask questions, very, very important. And to cap it all is to have a very, very strong and vibrant relationship with the Holy Spirit. Now, a lot of people there's a popular issue or dilemma or what do I call it now, whereby people do not actually know how God speaks to them until it is time to get married, and then they're like, I want to know God's way for my life. you need to know how God speaks to you. It has to be very clear before you can say you want to get married, so that when you're about to make a choice and you want to hear God's voice, you would already have a pattern that God speaks to you. And so when He's speaking to you, you know that He's the one talking to you. So if you don't know how to hear God before you're ready to get married, it will be difficult to want to hear God at that point of marriage. Why? The tendencies are high that you'll be biased, so you will not hear clearly. So it's important that while you're waiting to find a partner, please build your relationship with God, work on your relationship with God. And you can only do that in the place of prayer, Bible study, get messages, listen to messages, attend the right conferences, have a church, be planted in your church, have a pastor over your life, have someone that you're accountable to, read books, keep building your relationship with God, get mentors. It's important that you can hear God for yourself, so that whatever anybody is telling you is a confirmation, not something that is contradicting what God has told you. A lot of people are confused because they do not have a genuine relationship with God. If you want to save yourself from all of that confusion, just build your relationship with God. Give it the investment that it needs. Pay attention to it and let God lead and guide you. Because the person you marry is the next most important decision you can ever make after giving your life to Christ. Because who you marry can reduce your life by 50%, the quality of your life by 50% or even more, or accelerate it. So who you marry is very, very, very important. There are people's lives and destinies that have been, just because of the person they married. And there are people that got married and everything got better. So the choice is yours. The choice is actually yours. So please, I hope this video has been useful. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your story. You can share them in the comment section. And very importantly, remember to subscribe to this channel. And since you've learned one or two things from this video, please share the link on your WhatsApp status. Share it for me on any group you're on, etc. Just help me spread the word. I have a goal to actually get 1,000 subscribers this year. So will you please help me achieve my goal? So please subscribe and please share this link to someone or in any group you belong to. Thank you for watching. My name is JoanAnuoluwa. See you next time. Bye.